Good morning everyone, happy Tuesday and welcome to our second math lesson. So leading on from yesterday, having a look at those capacities again. So first of all, I'd just like you to have a look at these four containers and I'd like you to tell me please how much, so what's the volume in each container. Now remember, really important that we are looking at our measurements, okay? So what are they in? So give yourself a couple of minutes, pause the video. I'd like to have a look at each container and tell me how much is in each one. There we are, so welcome back. So hopefully you've had a look. Now, let's have a little look. So in our first container, the green container, we have 4 litres. So we can see that because we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. It comes up to this fourth point here, so the fourth litre, and we know it's litres because it tells us at the top. Now this one may be a little bit trickier, but again, looking at those increments. So we've got this first one here. Okay, so that's really important when we get up to these half ones up here. So we have 100, and half of 100, as we know from yesterday's 50. So if we look all the way up here, we've got 900, and then we've got our half increment here, so 950 millilitres, 750 millilitres, and 5 litres. So well done. So what is the capacity of the water bottle? Now this water bottle here has been poured out into these 5 different containers. So the total of all of these here equals the amount that was in the water bottle. So have a look, pause your screen if you need to, and you need to add up all these different containers here so that it tells us how much was in our water bottle to start with. So let's have a little check and see if you've got that right. So in our first container, we have 1 litre. We have 1 litre in our second one, so that's 2 litres. So 1 litre, 2 litres altogether. We have another litre in our third container, so that's 1, 2, 3 litres. And we have another litre in our fourth, so that's 1 litre, 2 litres, 3 litres, 4 litres. And then let's have a look at this final container. So we know that 1 litre is up here, so we've not got a full litre, so we need to have a look at the capacity of this container. So we've got here going up, we've got our half increments every time. Okay, so we've got increments, half an increment. So it's on one of those. Now let's have a look. We've got 200 mil here. So just like on the previous one when we had a look, we need to think. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 increments there to our first scale, so we know what it's going up in. So we need to divide 200 by 4 to find out what each one of these are. Okay, so if we do 200 divided by 4, we know that each one of these is worth 50. So each half, that's worth a 50. The next one's 50 more. The next half's another 50, and so on. So we can count up in 50s. We have 50 millilitres, 100 millimetres, 150 millimetres. So if we add them all together, we get 4 litres and 150 millilitres. Question 2. Colour the container to show the given volume. So we have altogether 2 litres and 950 millilitres. So first of all, let's start with our litres. So we need 2 litres coloured in. So with your finger you can use on your screen, I would like you just to have a think, right, colour in almost, pretend to colour in your 2 litres. So that's right, so hopefully you've coloured 1 full container up to here. So, oh, excuse my pen/mouse work on here. Okay, so all that there needs to be coloured in. And then we've got our next one, which is here. So all of that can be coloured in. So that's our 2 litres. We now need to have a think about our 950 millilitres. Now we know each one of these is 50. So if we count up Let's see how close to 900 we can get on the scale. So 200, 400 millilitres, 600 millilitres, 800 millilitres. And the next one we get to is 1 litre. So from this 800 millilitres here, we can count on in our 50s to get up to 950 millilitres. So 800 millilitres, we must have 850 millilitres. 900 millilitres here. So here, this line, this increment line must be our 950 millilitre line. So hopefully when you were looking, that's where you have coloured. So let's colour that one up a little bit further. Okay, so it should look like this. Hopefully that's how you imagined it to look like in your head. So another true or false then. I have 1 litre and 600 ml of pea soup for the school dinner hall. So he thinks he has 1 litre and 600 ml. So we need to have a little look up here. Okay, see if we can work it out. So we're going all the way up because this here is all our pea soup. So we can go up, we've got 1 litre here, so he's got more than a litre, and we're still going. So we're going up to this line here. So this here is where he thinks his 1 litre, 600 millilitre is. Now have a look, has that gone all the way up to this line here? Okay, so we know it's false, but can you tell me why? So pause this and have a little think. Why is it false? How many litres and millilitres has he got of pea soup? Well done. He is false because he's got 1 litre and 500 millilitres. So each one here, because if we look at our 0, we've got 1 increment, 2 increments to get to 200 millilitres. So if we half that, divide that by 2, each increment must be worth 100 mils. Okay, so or going up and further 100 mil. So if we have 1 litre, 400 millilitres, this here must be 1 litre, 500 millilitres. Okay, and question number 4. So how much fluid is there in total? You need to have a look at these 3 different containers and you need to come up with and tell me how much is there altogether. Now if you have a look at these, can you spot any measurements, thinking about our number bonds to 10, that can help us work out how much is there? So let's have a look at these first 2 containers. So we have 400 millilitres and we have 600 millilitres. Now I know that you all know that if we have 6 and we have 4, that's one of our number bonds to 10. So if we had 600 millilitres and we added on 4 more of those, so 4 more hundreds, okay, that we would get to 1,000 millilitres. Okay, because it would be 1,000 or 1,000 millilitres. Now, can you think back to yesterday's lesson when I went over with you how many millilitres is in 1 litre? Can you remember? Well done, there is 1 litre, okay, so 1,000 millilitres in 1 litre. So in these 2 containers, we have 1 litre altogether. So in this third container, we can see it comes up to here, which is 1 litre and 200 millilitres. Now what you need to do is add on that extra litre. And can you tell me how many litres there are altogether? Give you a couple of seconds to have a think. So if we've got 1 litre in these 2 containers, we need to add that 1 litre on to our 1 litre 200 millilitres. Well done, we've got 2 litres and 200 millilitres all together. So well done. So now it's your turn to have a go at your fluency questions. Like yesterday on Purple Mesh, if you go on to today's sheet, you will find that you can either use a text box or you can type on, you can draw on the page with your answers. Use a little bit at the side if you need to have any help with working out, or if it's quite hard to write on the sheet, just do that afterwards. Pause the video and come back when you're ready and we'll have a look through some of your problem solving questions. And welcome back. Well done for having a go at that worksheet. So we've got our problem solving. So like always, this is where we really need to read these questions carefully so that we can apply what we've just learnt before. So Carl fills the measuring cylinder with liquid. The volume is more than 1 litre and 400 millilitres, but less than 1 litre and 600 millilitres. Which of these containers could he fill exactly? Okay, so we know that it's more than 1 litre and 400 millilitres. So is there any on here that we can get rid of straight away because it's less than 1 litre, 400 millilitres? Have I think any of these that are less than this 1 litre, 400 millilitres? That's right, A. So 1 litre and 200, that one there is too small. So it can't be this one and we must get rid of that one. Okay, and then it also, so our container, the measuring cylinder, needs to have less than 1 litre, 600 millilitres. Now, is there any on here that we can have a look at that's maybe got, oh, that does have more than 1 litre, 600 millilitres? If there is, we know that we can get rid of that one as well. So have a little look. Well done, we can get rid of container B because that has 1 litre, 650 millilitres, and container C because it has 1 litre and 900 millilitres. Both of those are more than 1 litre, 600 millilitres. Because we know that we need to have less than that amount for our container. So our answer must be D. Maisie is measuring water. She says 1 is nearly 1 litre and 600 millilitres and the other is 2 litres. So there is 3 litres and 600 millilitres in total. Explain her mistake. So where has she gone wrong? Can you pause the video now, have a look at this question and identify, so find where she's gone wrong? And can you explain the mistake? And can you tell me how much she does have in total? So let's have a little look then. So her mistake, she's not read it accurately. Because on the first cylinder here, it reads 1 litre, 400. So it's not actually as high as what she thinks at 1 litre, 600. So it's here at 1 litre, 500 millilitres. So in total, there are 3 litres and 500 millilitres. And finally then, so container B has the least amount of liquid as the scale only goes up to 500 millilitres. Do you agree? Explain your answer. Now be really careful here. So just like our weighing scales, when we started to look from grams to kilograms, you need to have a look at the container and the scale on each one. Because you might find that there's one that has litres and millilitres. And as we know, 1 litre is greater, okay, than millimetres on their own, because we know that there are 1,000 millilitres in a litre. So have a look at these, have a look at that container B, containing the least amount. Have a look at the others, okay. Is he right or is he wrong? That's right, so he is correct because it does only go up to 500. So it only goes up to his 500 millilitres. Okay. And we can see that it's only got 450. And if we have a look in container A, we can see that there's 1 litre, 250 millilitres. And in container C, there is 600 millilitres. Okay, however, he is incorrect by saying because the scale, okay, has the least amount because the scale only goes up to that amount. That's where we need to be careful because people could say, well, this one's smaller. So it's really important that you have a look and really concentrate on your questions. So just like fluency, head over to Purple Mash and you can complete the questions. And good luck. See you all tomorrow.